Namaste, you're on the Nation at 5. I'm Anand Narsimhan coming to you live here from the newsroom at CNN News 18. And we are beginning with big news coming in from Uttar Pradesh, ladies and gentlemen, where the Uttar Pradesh Anti-Terror Squad, or the ATS, has made yet another big bust on a terror module. 8 people have been arrested. These are people with links with the Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen Bangladesh and also the al-qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. The suspects are linked to this terrorist organization, Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen Bangladesh, and of course the AQIS. One of the people who's been arrested is a Bangladeshi national that's been confirmed. These people were conducting radicalization operations in Saharanpur, Jwalapur, Haridwar in western UP and also in Uttarakhand. Also 2.5 lakh rupees in cash has been discovered from these people. Pranshu Mishra will be joining us any moment now, but these are the photographs. This is the CNN News 18 exclusive. These are the photographs of the accused that we are putting up, right? Luqman, son of Imran, this is one. Noor, this is another person who's been arrested. The other one is Mohammad Kamil. Then Mohammad Mudassir. He is from Nangla Imarti, Zila Haridwar. Then the fifth one is Qari Shahzad, who's the son of Ishrar. Then you have Muhammad Mukhtar, who's son of Ayub Hassan. There is Muhammad Aleem, who's the son of Muhammad Salim, and also Nawazish Ansari, son of Munawwar Ali, who's from Giridih in Jharkhand. This person is from Kailashpur in Saharanpur. You have Muhammad Mukhtar, who's from Saharanpur again. You have Qari Shahzad, who's from Shamli, Zila Saharanpur. Again, you have Muhammad Kamil, who's from Thana Devband, Zila Saharanpur. Muhammad Mudassir, who's also from Haridwar, Tehsil Roorkee in Uttarakhand. You have Ali Noor. Ali Noor is from Gopalganj in Dhaka. He's the Bangladeshi national who's been confirmed. This is Ali Noor. And you have Luqman, who's from Saharanpur again. So majority of these people, out of the 8 arrested, 1 Bangladeshi national, 1 of them from Uttarakhand, but all the others, 6 others, are from the Saharanpur area. Pranshu Mishra joins us with more details. Yes, Pranshu.
It's a big catch, and because this particular module, which is clearly the module of 2 major terror organizations, though they were trying to expand footprint. One is known as the al-qaeda Indian, and it is actually a subsidiary or a supplement of the international al-qaeda organization. The other, of course, as the Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen, which is a Bangladesh-based terror organization, the JMB. Now, these two, this module was on the radar of investigative agencies for quite some time, and there were quite big catches made by the investigating agencies in the past, which included likes of Abdul Salah, who has been described as head of the JMB, then Ahsan, Muftikir, and Akil Ahmed in the past. On the basis of interrogation and sustained following of the cases, 8 more people have been arrested, and the names which you recounted are those 8 big shots who are basically residing in Uttar Pradesh. Most of them, 5 or 6 of them, were from Saharanpur. 1 was from Jharkhand, the other was from Uttarakhand, and 1, of course, his roots have been traced back to Bangladesh. So all these 8 people have now been arrested over subsequent operations that has been carried out by UP ATS over the past 24 hours. Now the interrogation will go on. The police will move in to get a police custody remand on them to identify what more they were actually intending to do. But clearly, as you also said, it is a major busting of a larger terror module, which was clearly linked to al-qaeda Indian and the Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen Bangladesh.
This Bangladeshi national, was he in touch with another Bangladeshi terrorist or a wanted person who had sent the money? From whose person was this money found? 2.5 lakh rupees, Pranshu.
Yes, see, all this is still a part of investigation. And in fact, the person who had been arrested, who was masquerading and hiding his identity with several aliases, his original roots have also been traced to Bangladesh. So as I said, that at the moment, these arrests have been made. The first information has been shared with media, including the pictures of these accused people, what else their plan was, what instructions they have gotten from their masters, whether they have got any sort of, substantial, serious training in use of explosives, what other literature has been recovered, that still all remains under the domain of the investigating agencies. But yes, the recovery of cash, the recovery of some plans, that clearly indicates, and what UP ATS sources are telling us, that they have been able to bust a major terror attack also, because it was clearly a terrorist module that was clearly linked to these 2 prominent terror organizations.
Well, thank you for your inputs, Pranshu. So big bust there, big success for the Uttar Pradesh ATS, cracking down on yet another terror module that was operating. 8 people arrested, 1 Bangladeshi national, 1 resident of Uttarakhand, and 6 people who are residing in and around the area of Saharanpur, and they were conducting radicalization operations and also their involvement in terror operations. Money coming in from Bangladesh, their affiliations to the Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen Bangladesh and the al-qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. Moving on to more news, and big news coming in from Punjab, where intelligence sources and government sources are telling CNN News 18 that there is perhaps the effort to try and breed and build another person like Bhindranwale. Amrit Singh, the intelligence agencies are, this man is on the radar and his activities are on the radar. And is he trying to push the Khalistani narrative on ground? This is the biggest concern that's been raised, and it's been red flagged big time. We've got the details. Top intel sources within the government telling us that they are probing ISI's connection with Amrit Singh. Is the ISI, as part of its K2 plan, Kashmir and Khalistan, trying to push this person to try and once again recreate this entire Khalistan movement and also create another option beyond Bhindranwale? Is Amrit Singh the next Bhindranwale is the question that comes. Amrit Singh is now the chief of Waris Punjab Day. This outfit was started by Deep Sidhu. It was floated by this activist Deep Sidhu. Amrit Singh has returned to Punjab after 10 years. We are given to understand Deep Sidhu's family at this point has denied giving him any position, but Amrit Singh is walking around and trying to claim that he is the one who's now going to champion this entire outfit called Waris Punjab Day. And this again had this separatist, secessionist bent and tone that it is taking. Amrit Singh is holding freedom rallies in rural Punjab. Khalistan Zindabad slogans have been raised at Amrit Singh's rallies. Amrit Singh, we're given to understand, and that's what intel sources are telling CNN News 18, our investigations editor Manoj Gupta getting us these details, that he went to Georgia before coming to India via Dubai. The Home Ministry has asked the Punjab government to maintain vigil and observe and report the activities of Amrit Singh. He's also been going to the native village of Bhindranwale and being and trying to operate there quite actively. Hemant Atri is joining us, senior journalist, and also Alok Bansal, director, India Foundation. Alok ji, namaste. Hemant ji, namaste. Alok ji, first question: this activity on ground of trying to push this Khalistani narrative, there are allegations that those within government, those who are responsible for law and order in Punjab, are aware of these activities. And somewhere there are rallies that are being taken out. People who are pushing this narrative, they are being given a free run.
See, this is extremely dangerous. Whatever I have read about this Amrit Singh, he's actually a danger, and I think it needs to be nipped in the bud. We had this similar situation in the case of Sant Bhindranwale. Initially, he was a minor activist, and then he became a big menace. And then we had to go in for a full-fledged military operations. So I think a time has come when this Amrit Singh, if you see, his statements are provocative enough to take him to task. He has said that they will deal with they will deliver justice to anybody who, in their perception, has desecrated their religious texts or things like that, not the state. And he has been making statements against India, against government, propagating Khalistani viewpoint. I think a time has come. I think the state government must straight away crack down on him. I think both BJP and Congress have made this very clear that this is a danger that is lurking. And I think, unlike last time, we should not give him that sort of a leeway and must be apprehended as soon as possible, because this will be extremely dangerous if this movement actually picks up. Because at this point of time, a lot of external forces which are trying to destabilize India.
No, and not just that, religion becoming the point of entry and to try and separate Sikhi from Hinduism, that's one narrative. The other one is to put up posters of Bhindranwale and try and collect donations. And this is not happening only on Indian soil. It's happening abroad too. It's happening in Australia. It's happening in the UK. It's happening across the world, wherever there is a Sikh population, in Canada. And Hemant Atri, recently there were rallies in Punjab which were conducted. where these kind of slogans were raised.
See, Anand, Amrit Pal issue has two angles on which the state and central government should work. First of all, in just a span of 50 days, he has become such a menace. He came back to India from Dubai on 20th of August precisely. And the things that he has been doing, he is donning the attire of Bhindranwala and, trying to popularize the Sikh sentiment in his own way. We have to understand two, three quick points. First of all, there is a vacuum as far as this hardcore Sikhi party is concerned. This man is trying to get into that space, point number one. Number two, this man has earlier also tried to do the same things which he's doing now. But there is a Supreme Court order when it has been said that only using the Bhindranwala's photographs don't lead to anything. So there are two, three things that the state government as well as the union government need to take care of. First of all, state government has to keep a very, very tight whistle on him, his activities, and government of India needs to keep an eye through their, intelligence sources and whatever, which are coming from across the border, particularly Pakistan, Jinda, and Canada, Britain, and so many other international places. Now the thing is, Punjab is sitting on a volcano, and Anand, you will ask me how. There is n number of unemployed youth who are wandering around. They are the soft targets for drug peddlers. They are the softest target for gangsters. And in the same way, they can be, turned into hardcore, particularly religious kind of elements. The same thing happened in 1980s. And the Punjab government, if they don't, address this unemployment issue, this is going to be a big menace for the very simple reason these unemployment youths, these people, on the first available opportunity, they are, ready to sell their lands and everything and to want to go abroad. These kind of stuff, particularly these hardliners, they can help them while using them in terrorist activities here. And then subsequently, they can get them help to get them settled in Australia, Britain, Canada, and then they can again become a big menace. The state government needs to keep a very, very close track. And the same is the case for union government to keep from across the border. Otherwise, this is going to be a big menace, Anand.
Yeah. Right. But Alokji, how do we tackle something like this? Because this narrative is being spread by those people who left India, who are in Canada. There were recently huge amounts. There was a referendum that was conducted there. These outfits are operating there. Numbers are being claimed that to how many people came there. They have direct connect with people on ground here in India. This man is getting a free run. There are other visuals which are again contested and perhaps unconfirmed reports that under state protection and police protection, these kind of rallies are being taken out on the streets of Punjab. Why should these kind of elements be allowed a free run? The point of entry is religion. And again, what their utterances are is to try and separate Sikhism from Hinduism. This is clearly what the ISI has always peddled.
Absolutely. And in fact, not only that, he's trying to become the sole spokesperson because he's actually countering other groups also like Dal Khalsa, etc. He wants to emerge as the sole voice. That is what Bhindranwala had done. So this is actually a very, very dangerous proposition. I think at this point of time, the Sikh community, the Punjab government must come out emphatically. Civil society must move. His Twitter account has been disbanded, but we need to also act on his Facebook and other social media platforms. His speeches, etc., needs to be censored. We need to know what he's speaking. And the moment you get even a small ground, he must be, I think, apprehended. I have no doubts. It will be much better to apprehend him right in the beginning and keep him incarcerated if required for a longish period. Because right now, he's still budding danger. In due course, he'll become a real threat. And at this point of time, of course, Pakistan is trying to prevent trouble. Punjab and Kashmir, that is well known. So we have to also look at the money trail that is leading to him because no organization like this can thrive without the finances. So how are the finances coming? And that is where I think the agencies have to work out. The money trail needs to be traced out and that will probably actually fix him up.
The money is drugs. Because that's what's doing the rounds, that's what's being funneled. And then along with that is explosives, Hemant Atri. And we've been tracking this story that the amount of drugs that's been caught or that is coming into and making its way into Punjab. And it's a huge menace. The drug menace there. There are videos that have gone viral on social media, again unconfirmed, which say that it's all available openly on the streets.
No, Anandji, it is very clearly established now. Earlier also, if you see, if you go back 6 months back, there were the traces of these drugs for say about 500 grams, 200 grams. Now they are coming in quintals and tons. So there must be some big network working on the ground in Punjab as well as the adjacent areas. And these are coming from various routes in Bombay, in Kerala, in Gujarat, and so many other places. They are taking now ship route as well as Pakistan is sending through these, what you call it, UAVs. So the thing is, this gentleman, particularly Amrit Pal, he was there in Dubai for last 10 years, right? He was busy into his family business of transport. What is the reason that he has come all the way to India to stay back here? He never used to wear those kind of, dresses or whatever. Once he has got back, he's donning the attire of Mr. Bhindrewala exactly. And these kind of elements, they have very popular support from the unemployed youth, the fringe elements there are. Although they are very few as of now in numbers. But you never know when they can swell up due to these political, social reasons. Now the thing is, how the Punjab government is going to address this? They can't be soft on this. They have to understand one thing, that if they just don't nip this evil in the bud, this can create huge menace for them. This is not a political thing. It is much beyond that.
Is it about just one person? Is it just about one person, Hemant Atri?
No.
Amrit Pal Singh may be quietened down. He may be asked to go back or deported or whatever action is taken. But is there enough and more that's already doing the rounds? Because there is also the soft entry that is happening. Look at the kind of Sidhu Moosewala. He was murdered, yes, but what was the kind of music that he was peddling? What were the lyrics that he was pushing? Yeah. He was pushing gun culture. He was pushing soft separatism. Yeah. There are other people who are doing music. All this music that is coming from UK is all pushing a particular narrative, even in the lyrics, and that's what's being consumed by the audience here because it's freely available.
Exactly. And this is not an individual working. It's a phenomenon working. Yesterday it was somebody. Tomorrow it will be somebody. Today it is somebody else. See, what Mr. Deep Sidhu was doing, what he did on the Red Fort, was it called for? Why he was getting into the popular sport of farmer agitation? We have to take care of all these things. And one has to understand that these are not individuals. Although they have very, very thin support as of now, as far as fringe elements is concerned. But once they are peddled through Pakistani finance or drug finances, drug addiction or whatever they are. So this can create a huge, Punjab as of now cannot, bear the burden of violence or militancy at this stage.
See, point is the narrative setting is being done very, very brazenly, and that too, the software. I talked about music, but that's what they're using. They're using religion, they're using music. Alok Bansalji, the direct references of UK to Pakistan, the fact that it is you feel you're from Lahore or you're from Punjab, so the equations are being drawn like that, and it's all there, and it's being peddled all across. People are dancing to it and singing this. That's how it is entering into our system.
We need to clamp down on this sort of a separatist narrative, this sort of a dangerous narrative. I think social media, big tech companies need to be involved and told that this sort of a narrative cannot be peddled on social media. This cannot be brought in. I think if the government acts, many of these things can be stopped. But as I said, Amrit Pal Singh may be a manifestation, but for some time we have been seeing that radicalization, a particular narrative has been peddled among Sikhs that to propagate a fundamentalist separatist narrative. And we have seen that whenever Akali Dal actually gets politically marginalized, we see rise in radicalization and fundamentalism in Punjab also. So that is also a factor which we need to take into account. Of course, the state government has been really not proactive in dealing with these issues. Probably they are a new government, they have no experience. Because this sort of things need to be nipped in the bud. And I think as former Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh has said, that this is a huge danger. And I think the state government must act as soon as possible. They need to do. As far as central government is concerned, all this sort of software which is coming into India, the songs, the videos, all this need to be clamped down, at least on the legal mediums which are available, that is the big tech firms, social media, etc., we can clamp down to a very great extent on this.
On the
And
one
I
hand,
think,
there is disrespect and beadbi that is happening at Gurdwara Panjab Sahib. On the other hand, they are also turning around and saying that no, you identify with us and not with India, not with Bharat. Both things are happening at the same time and none is the wiser. And you have people like elements like Amrit Pal Singh and those who are backing him getting a free run in the state of Punjab to push a narrative which is again going to try and hurt the entire consciousness of Bharat. This is something which is serious and sinister and needs to be taken cognizance of. And clearly the Home Ministry advising the state government of Punjab to immediately act on this man and monitor his movements and his utterances. We're going to quickly move on. We got another news and big development coming through, which is pointing towards a fast balkanization of Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, where the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan's reign of terror in Pakistan is now very, very apparent. They have really upped the activity in the Swat region. Now, top intel sources are saying that there have been multiple TTP attacks on security forces and civilians in the last 6 weeks. Terror attacks in Swat schools also now have happened, killing 4, including 3 students in these attacks. Schools in the Swat Valley have been vandalized. The staff has been threatened by the TTP. TTP is actually running a kidnapping and extortion racket in that region. Kidnapped private cellular firm workers and they are demanding 100 million rupees, Pakistani rupees, as ransom. Locals are saying that the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has established hideouts in the hills of Matta Tehsil. TTP fighters killed 5 soldiers in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region on the 6th of September. 5 more were killed in TTP bombing in northwestern Pakistan on the 13th of September. Alok Bansalji stays on with us. So Alokji, the TTP now upping its activities in the Swat region. There was a period of lull where there was talk that the Pakistan establishment, the military and the government is trying to work out a solution with the TTP and trying to broker peace. All that seems to have now fallen flat, with Pakistan hanging Afghanistan out to dry.
See, TTP, if you go into the history, you will see that every negotiations with the state has actually been used by TTP to expand its influence. In fact, if you go into the history from South Waziristan to North Waziristan to Bajaur, then Mohammad, and then of course into Swat Valley. The current round also is that the Pakistan sent a delegation to Afghanistan to negotiate with them. That negotiation not only gave them respectability, but also gave them time to regroup and move. And now they have enhanced their influence so much that there was a video circulating where a Pakistani army major is seen in captivity, a police officer and another soldier is lying on the ground, and TTP is interrogating them. So those have been circulated. One of the local leaders who from ANP, who was actually in the forefront of countering them, has been eliminated, and TTP has set up checkposts in different parts of Swat, and situation seems to be returning to what it was in 2007 or so. So we have a situation which is growing, and Swat, which is seen as Pakistan's Switzerland because of the number of tourists that they go there, because of the snow-clad mountains, etc., is now reverting back to the same situation as it existed when Fazlullah was ruling the roost in Swat Valley. So we have a serious issue.
Because Imran Khan was claiming that he's almost brokered peace. There was talk that the army has been able to try and bring the TTP around. Is that now all days of the past or forgotten? And is this also a reaction which is happening because the Taliban are somewhere supporting the TTP? How do you see this sudden upping of hostilities and activity by the TTP in that region?
See, one thing we must be very clear, that irrespective of who helped bring Taliban to power in Afghanistan, Taliban is an ideological outfit and will support every single fundamentalist outfit which propounds the same sectarian religious views as propounded by them. So TTP follows the same thing. They consider Amirul Mu'minin as Mullah Akhundzada only. So notionally they are following the same leader. So Taliban will never ever act drastically against them. So now whole Afghanistan is available as a safe haven. And now that the conflict has ended, so many weapons are floating around in Afghanistan. So all those weapons are also available to TTP. So TTP just has to move across into Pakistan, and they have started doing it. Already in erstwhile FATA areas, they have their presence is there, but they have moved in a big way in Swat. And this is going to affect Pakistan in a very, very big way. Very soon, you will see in Karachi, where there are already traces that TTP factions have started showing their presence. So the biggest city in Pakistan will have TTP. Of course, FATA and Swat, which have been traditionally the strongholds of TTP. Already you are seeing signs of TTP's emergence.
Right. Captain Alok Bansal, thank you for your inputs and thank you for joining us here on The Nation at 5. Hemant Atri, thank you for your inputs. We're going to take a very short break here. When we come back, Kamil will flare up in Bengal on the occasion of Sharad Purnima. Stay with us.